Welcome to today's lesson. Today, our learning target is I can use the greatest common factor to simplify fractions. So to simplify a fraction simply means to write a fraction using the smallest possible digits. All right, so whereas 2/4 and 3/6 and 5/10 all equal a half, the simplest form of that fraction is 1/2, 1/2, because 1 and 2 are the smallest digits we can use to write that fraction. All right, you're going to need to learn 2 steps to simplify fractions using the greatest common factor. Step 1, you find the greatest common factor that the numerator and denominator, the top and bottom numbers, share. And then in step 2, you take that greatest common factor and you divide the numerator and the denominator by it, by the greatest common factor. So let's check it out. Our first example is 2/4. Okay? So let's go ahead and do step 1. Let's find all the factors of the number 2. Let's see. There's 1 times 2. Okay, that was good. Let's do 4. Find all the factors of 4. Let's see. We have there's 1 times 4, and there's 2 times 2. Okay, we have factored both the numerator 2 right here and the denominator 4 right here. And now we have to find the biggest factor they have in common. Well, maybe you see it already. They have 2 in common. That is the greatest common factor that 2 and 4 share. So step 2 says now to divide. So let's rewrite our fraction here. 2/4. I'm going to get myself out of the way. Okay, this is the same fraction that we started with. I'm just rewriting it so that we can divide. Okay. And let's go ahead and divide both parts by 2. So I'm going to write 2 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 2. And why are we dividing by 2? Because in order to simplify, we need to divide both parts of the fraction by the greatest common factor. We found that in step 1. It's 2. So let's do this. What do we get? Well, 2 divided by 2, that equals 1. And 4 divided by 2, that equals 2. We're done. We've just found that 1/2 is the simplest form of 2/4. And now you might have noticed these blank drawings here. What I thought I'd do is I'd share with you what that actually looks like. Maybe it'll help you make more sense of this. So here we have 2/4. And I'm going to color in 2 of the 4ths here in yellow. All right? That is 2/4. That picture represents that amount. Well, we just learned that 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. And if we take a look at the drawing, we color in 1/2 of the circle, we'll see that it's the same amount of the circle that's colored in. So in fact, 2/4 and 1/2 are the same. Let's try another example. Here we have 6/9. All right. Step 1, what is it? You got it. Step 1 is to factor out both numbers, find the greatest common factor. So the factors of 6 are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. And the factors of 9 are 1 times 9 and 3 times 3, which we only have to write once. Okay, and the biggest factor they have in common, the greatest common factor of 6 and 9, is 3. So let's go ahead and rewrite our fraction over here, 6/9. And now let's divide by that greatest common factor. That's step 2. So 6 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3. And we're going to get, well, let's see here. 6 divided by 3, that's 2. And 9 divided by 3, that is 3. All right. We just learned that 2/3 is the simplest form of 6/9. And to further illustrate that, let's go ahead and first color in 6/9. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6/9 right here. This is what 6/9 looks like as a drawing. All right. And 2/3 looks like this. Now I know these drawings aren't perfect, but they do show that 6/9 and 2/3 are the same amount. They are equivalent fractions. Let's try another example. I'm going to have you join along with me this time. 5/15. All right. Let's see here. Step 1, we need to find the greatest common factor of 5 and 15. So let's start by factoring the number 5. 5, let's see, 1 times 5 is 5. And 15, let's see, 1 times 15 is 15. And 3 times 5 is 15. So what is the greatest factor they have in common? The greatest common factor? You got it. It's 5. So step 2, we divide 5 and 15, both the numerator and denominator, by the greatest common factor. Let's do that. 5 divided by 5 and 15 divided by 5. What will we get? Well, 5 divided by 5, let's see, that's 1. And 15 divided by 5, that is 3. Good tip here. These are all basic math facts that we're working with today. And so for a lot of these, you're going to be able to use a multiplication chart. If you don't already know them from Reflex Math, a multiplication chart will help. For the numbers that aren't on a multiplication chart, and there won't be that many, but should there be, you can use a quick little bit of long division or partial quotients. All right, so here we have shown that 1/3 is equivalent to 5/15. And 1/3 is the simplest form of 5/15. 1 and 3 are the smallest digits we can use to represent the same amount as 5/15. And we can show that here in the drawing by first coloring in 5/15. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5/15. And 1/3. We can see that the same amount of the circle is shaded in there. The same amount. All right. Very nice. Let's do one more, and this time you're going to help me out, okay? 12/16. All right. Step 1. You got it. We need to find the greatest common factor. So go ahead and find all the factors of 12. I'll wait. All right. Did you come up with 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4? Great. All right. Now go ahead and find all the factors of 16. Okay. Did you find 1 times 16, 2 times 8, and 4 times 4? All right, very nice. Now, what is the greatest common factor for 12 and 16? If you said 4, you're correct. All right, now, what's step 2? We have to divide 12 and 16, the numerator and denominator, by 4. So let's go ahead and rewrite 12/16. And then let's go ahead and divide. 12 divided by 4 and 16 divided by 4. Well, 12 divided by 4 is, well, actually, let me back up. Go ahead and just finish this problem up. What is the simplest form of 12/16? Okay. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. So we've just learned that 3/4 is the simplest form of 12/16. And to prove it even further to ourselves, let's go ahead and color in 12/16. Let's see, that's 4/16, 8/16, 12/16. 12/16 looks like this. All right. And 3/4 looks like the same amount, because it is exactly the same amount. You got it. Look at that. The same amount of the circles colored in. Way to go. All right. So today, our learning target is I can use the greatest common factor to simplify fractions. And when you use the greatest common factor, what you're going to end up with is the simplest form of the fraction. That is the fraction written with the very smallest digits possible. Okay, today's practice work is going to look just like the work we've been doing. Let's get to it, and let me know if you need help.